What was that? Make a video about biological cells? Not those kind of cells. Here's what you need to know about GCSE cells. So, biological cells. As you can see from the VT at the top of the video, there are also small rooms that detain prisoners, but that's not what we're looking at here. So what are cells? Well, the definition is from the Latin, from cella, meaning small room. That's what we said. It's the basic structural, functional, and biological unit of all known organisms. A cell is the smallest unit of life. Cells are also often called the building blocks of life. So what are the main parts in animal cells that you need to know for GCSE biology? We've got 5. They're called organelles. They're the smallest parts. And we've got the nucleus in the middle. We've got the cytoplasm, which is like a jelly-like substance that fills the cell. We've got the cell membrane, which would be a line around the outside. We've got ribosomes, which in diagrams in your GCSEs will be shown as little dots. And we've got mitochondria, which are a sausage-shaped kind of structure with a little squiggle line down the middle. Now, I'm telling you what you'd see in your GCSEs as opposed to what you'd see if you're looking through a slide. Some of those organelles you won't actually be able to see. Sometimes the cytoplasm is a little bit difficult to label because you see a dotty substance inside the cell membrane on a diagram. The dots would be the ribosomes and the substance around it would be the cytoplasm. So what do the main parts do? The nucleus. It controls all the activities of the cell. Everything that the cell does, the nucleus is in charge of. The cytoplasm. This is the jelly-like substance where all the chemical reactions happen in the cell. The cell membrane. This controls what can get in and out. It's like a wall with doors in it all the way around the outside. The ribosomes. This is where all the proteins are made. This process of making proteins is called protein synthesis. You would get away with just saying where the proteins are made. Mitochondria. This is where energy is released, and that process is respiration. This is actually what human cheek cells look like, and as you can see, they look a lot like fried eggs. They look like that basic structure we've seen. We can't see under a microscope at this resolution mitochondria or ribosomes, but we can see the line around the outside, the cell membrane. We can see a darker spot in the middle, that's the nucleus. They've been stained so that we can see them in colour, but the substance inside you can see is thicker than the surrounding solution. The substance inside is the cytoplasm. That's what you're likely to see under a microscope. However, we do need to know about those other 2 organelles, the mitochondria and the ribosomes. So, what are the differences between animal and plant cells? Well, here's a plant cell. You can see it's a lot more regular in shape. It looks a little bit more complicated. And the answer is that at this level, there are more organelles that we need to know in there. So, we've got the 5 that we've met already, the nucleus, the cytoplasm, the cell membrane. Please note here that the cell membrane is the inner of the 2 lines around the outside of the cell. The ribosomes and the mitochondria, and you can see them as a sausage shape again with a squiggly line down the middle. But there are 3 more that we need to know for our plant cell. Those 5 do the same jobs as in the animal cell, whereas the 3 extra are the cell wall. This is this outer line around the edge of the cell. There are chloroplasts, which they look a bit like the mitochondria, but they haven't got the squiggly line down the middle, and they tend to be more just oval shaped. In real life, they are green. That's what gives plants' leaves the green colour. And we've got vacuoles. We've got this space in the middle, a single vacuole per cell. You will see at GCSE level biology. And it's this space in the middle. Vacuole sounds like vacant kind of space. It's actually filled with something, but it looks like a vacant space on a diagram. So what do? Well, the cell wall gives the plant cell strength and rigidity. The chloroplasts are where the light energy is collected from the sun and it is turned into glucose via a process called photosynthesis. And the vacuole, this space in the middle of the cell, is where the sugar is stored as cell sap for internal cell pressure and to maintain the shape of the cell and the overall shape of the plant, combined with the structure of the cell wall to stop it from exploding. These are some actual plant cells under the microscope. They're onion cells. You can note that they are more regular in shape than the cheek cells of the animal cells that we've just seen. They're more like rectangles, really. They've got a thicker wall around the outside because we can see it's got a cell wall as well as the cell membrane, and you can make out the darker area of the nucleus. Once again, we can't see mitochondria and we can't see ribosomes under the microscope. However, you will be expected to identify them on a diagram and know what they do. So Mr. T's top tips. Today's top tip is that there are 5 organelles are exactly the same in both types of cell, animal and plant cells. However, there are 3 extra in plants, and I've put those in green on here to show you that they're plant cells, and we expect plants to be green, and that's why. So this is some lovely 2-for-1 learning. You can learn the 5 organelles in both of them and then the 3 extra in the plants. And in order to keep your learning ordered and to help yourself with your notes, then the best way to lay it out is like this. We've got our animal cell on the left-hand side and we've got our plant cell on the right-hand side. You can see they're very similar but slightly different. We've got all of these lovely organelles in there, but there are these 3 extra in the plant cells. And I always write it like this to show that we share the 5 in the middle, and then we've got these 3 extra in green on the right hand side of the plant cells. Obviously, if you've learned what the 5 in the middle do, it's the same for both types of cell, and then you've got your 3 extra. So in summary, animal cells have 5 main organelles, and the plant cells share these same 5 organelles, and they've got 3 more that you need to know. For GCSE biology, you need to know that there are more organelles in each cell. However, these are the ones that you need to know to pass your GCSEs. Don't be surprised if you do your own research and find out that there are more, but you don't need to know about them at this stage. And specialized cells, there are many more types of cells with different shapes. I've made a video on specialized cells, so you can check that out as well. If you're interested in more biological resources, why not check out more of our videos? There's a selection noted there that might be helpful to you at this stage in your course. Also, can I just take this moment to thank Mr. B, our history teacher, for those wonderful diagrams of cells that I've used in my video today. And finally, if you've enjoyed this video and found it useful, please remember to like and to subscribe, and we'll keep the content coming.